Hello, welcome to Stratford End United full time, and it's finished United 3, Burnley 1. Fantastic performance by United this evening. This is the United that we want to see, and this is the United that we need to see going forward for the rest of the season. Much better performance than it was against the game against Newcastle on Monday. These players definitely come up with the right attitude this evening. They look like they wanted to play as a team, play as a unit. They look like they wanted to win this game for themselves, for the fans, and for this famous football club as well. And like I say, this is the Manchester United team that we need to see going forward. I mean, let's look at the game. The first 10 minutes of this game, I do think Burnley, they started the better of the two teams. Burnley in the first 10 minutes, they got forward, played some good passes, played some good passing football, got forwards, got us on the ropes a little bit, created some few chances in those first 10 minutes. But I think, after those first 10 minutes, we did settle in that game, and we got forward a lot more in that first 10 minutes. And then, we did start to see the confidence in these United players grow as the first half went on as well. And, that showed, with the goals that we scored in that first half, with the fantastic individual performances by some of these Manchester United players as well. And Scott McTominay, it's one player that I definitely want to talk about this evening. Fantastic, outstanding performance by Scott McTominay. Probably the best we've seen Scott McTominay play in the United shirt. I'm not going to sit here and say after that performance from Scott McTominay, he deserves to play in this Manchester United team every single week for the rest of the season, because it's true, what people say, one good performance is not going to make you a good player. I think we do need to see a lot more from Scott McTominay that we've seen tonight going forward. I've doubted Scott McTominay a lot over the last season or so. I have said in the past I didn't think Scott McTominay was the right player for United. I didn't think he was suited in this Manchester United team. But I think a lot of that was probably down to the way where he was played before under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer with this Scott McTominay and Fred partnership. I really don't think, where Scott McTominay, when he was being played in the deeper midfield role, I really don't think that's the best position for Scott McTominay at all. I think where we've seen Scott McTominay play this evening, driving forward, getting to the final third, creating chances for his teammates and creating some really good chances for himself as well. I think that's where we will see the best of Scott McTominay. But like I say, we do need to see Scott McTominay improve. Again, one performance doesn't make you, a great player. We need to see a lot more of the Scott McTominay going forward, and hopefully he does it for the remainder of the season as well. And I tell you what's really pleased me tonight is to see Ranić move away from the Scott McTominay and Fred partnership, because we've all been saying it for quite a while, and it looks like Ranić has seen this year as well, because Scott McTominay and Fred partnership just doesn't work at all. I think that was one of the main issues in this Manchester United midfield. We've pulled away from this tonight. We've seen Scott McTominay drive a lot forwards, a lot more. I thought we controlled the game a lot better this evening. Again, we can't get ahead of ourselves, but it is only Burnley. Burnley have been struggling for form. They've had games called off due to COVID themselves in the bottom three. But compared to what we've seen from United over the last couple of weeks, it's definitely improvement tonight. Much better improvements, and hopefully we see this going forward. And it just shows, with the team that Ranić play tonight, it just shows he's not scared of making changes. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Bruno Fernandes was suspended for tonight's game, so he wouldn't have been able to play tonight anyway. But he also left Fred and Marcus Rashford on the bench tonight against Burnley. And one of the things that was frustrating me, just going back briefly to the game against Newcastle on Monday, when I was sitting there watching that game, I was so frustrated, with some of the performances some of these United players were putting in. I just think, how are they allowed to, how are they getting into this United team week in, week out with the way that they're playing? I've grown up, watching United, watching, some of the players that we've had down the years, and, there was just no creativity on Monday against Newcastle. There was no players, willing to take this game to scruff the neck and bollock at players who weren't playing that well. Some fans will sit there and say, "Oh, we haven't got the right type of players." to do that. Harry Maguire, he's our club captain. I don't see him as captain material for Manchester United. Looking back to what the captains that United have had down the years, I just don't see Harry Maguire as a captain. I don't see him as a leader of Manchester United. Again, that could be an issue of why the that could be a factor of how it's affected United as a whole. And again, that's something that maybe Ranić will look into. But again, going on to tonight's performance, it would have been nice to keep a clean sheet. We can't sit here and say there aren't issues in this team, because there are. I think defensively we looked a bit weak at times. I think if Burnley were better finishing, they could have scored another goal. And if that made it 3-2, I think it could have made the game a lot more interesting. I think Bailly was at fault for the Burnley goal in the first half. I thought Harry Maguire could have done a lot better. I think all these things that Ranić still needs to work on, but that's not, that's just looking to this. This is Ranić's fourth game in charge at Manchester United. Nobody's expecting Ranić to sit there with a magic wand over Carrington training ground, expecting these players to start playing well after a few games, and it's going to take time. I think Ranić is still trying to work out what is possible, what his best 11 is going to be going forward from now to the end of the season. I think he's still trying to work out what works, what doesn't work. And I think he's, what we've seen from this United team tonight, I think he is slowly getting there. I think with the games that we had called off with COVID, with the training ground getting shut down, I think that disrupted our rhythm. I think that showed in the game against Newcastle on Monday. Obviously, we can't use that as an excuse. I think the performance against Newcastle should have been a lot better. But it's really good to see Ranić making changes, and him not being scared of making changes if we need to do so. And I'm a strong believer, if a manager comes into the football club, whether you're worth 20 million or 200 million, I think these players should be, they should earn the right into any new manager's team. And I think that's something we haven't seen at Manchester United for quite a few years. I don't think we've seen that under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, where he was constantly playing the same players when they shouldn't have been in the team. And I think changes hopefully now will come into place, where these players start to realise that they need to start performing if they want to break into this Manchester United team. But again, really happy with the performances, but there are going to be much tougher challenges ahead. We've got some big games coming up. You've got Wolves on Monday again. The game against Wolves is going to be a completely different challenge. We all know they're a much better defensive unit than Burnley are. We know that they're going to throw different challenges, as they're going to throw much bigger challenges on Monday as well. So I think it's going to be a completely different game against Wolves on Monday. It's going to be interesting whether Ranić goes with the same team that he has tonight against Wolves, or whether he decides to change it. I'm hoping he goes with the same team that he has gone tonight. So I think that our team tonight worked. I think most players knew what they were doing. Players were making the right decisions. I think the performance-wise in the second half dipped a little bit. Again, whether that was because we were comfortable and we were 3-1 up. Fitness could have come into it because of the games that we've missed over the last couple of weeks. But again, it's just something that Ranić can work with the players over the next couple of games. But definitely for me, Scott McTominay, man of the match. I think Ranić's got to take credit again, because I think he got the team selection spot on this evening. For me, I want to see this team play against Wolves on Monday. Let me know in the comments what you think, whether you think Ranić should go with the same team against Wolves, or do you think it's because Wolves are a completely different team, whether he should change the team on Monday. But going forward, hopefully tonight's performance isn't a one-off where the players just felt like turning up. We're at the stage of the season now where we definitely have to start with these players, definitely have to start performing and start showing up in games, because we got some massive games coming up towards now, between now and the end of the season. We could start, we're a win tonight takes us only 4 points off the top four. We need to finish in the top four this season. We need to be in the Champions League again next season. As I think we all agree. Come the summer, we are going to have to bring new additions into this Manchester United team. I think there are certain players that need to go, and there are certain players that need to come in to strengthen this Manchester United team to hopefully turn this Manchester United team into a title-winning team next season, whether that's Ranić stays in charge toward beyond this season, or whether it's Ten Hag or Poch, whoever comes in. But we all know that changes need to be made. But like going forward, hopefully for the rest of the season, we see these performances improve. Again, I think as going back to what I said about Ranić, because it's only his fourth game in charge, I think the longer he's in charge at Manchester United, I do believe that we'll see more positive changes in this Manchester United team. Before I go, I just want to wish Alex Ferguson a massive 80th birthday for tomorrow. Whether a United fan or not, the greatest manager of all time. It was fantastic to see Sir Alex at Old Trafford tonight, smiling in the stands. Hope he has a fantastic 80th birthday. Greatest manager of all time. So it's the end of 2021. I think it's been a challenging year for everyone. I just want to say to everyone who's followed me on YouTube this year, the people who've kept me going, kept me doing content, people who've believed in me, the people who've constantly watched the video, shared, and also subscribed. Thank you very much, and also thank you to the people, to the new viewers, and also to the new subscribers. Hopefully, you'll continue watching on and sharing the channel in 2022 as well. Hopefully 2022 is a much better year for all of us. I will be back on Monday for the match reaction for the game against Wolves. Hopefully I'm sitting here talking about another positive performance. Happy New Year to you all. Take care. Speak to you soon.